Why does silence hurt more than words? Why do people fear absence more than anger? Because when you go silent, you remove their ability to manipulate you. You take away their control, their comfort, their power over your emotions. And that, my friend, is the beginning of your rebirth. She left. Maybe she betrayed you. Maybe she thought the grass was greener on the other side. And now you're here, trying to figure out how to make her regret it. You want justice. You want her to feel the same pain she left you with. But let me tell you something. Chasing her, begging, trying to explain yourself, looking for closure. All of it is a trap. She expected that. She wanted the validation of knowing she still controls your emotions. Because the moment you react, you prove to her that she still matters. And that's exactly what she wants. But when you give her silence, when you give her absolutely nothing, that's when the regret begins. That's when the self-doubt creeps in. That's when she starts to feel the consequences of her own actions. You see, silence forces her to sit with her decision. No more validation, no more emotional security, no more reassurance that you'll always be there. And whether she realizes it or not, people hate uncertainty. They hate losing control. And when you go silent, she's forced to question everything. Why isn't he texting me? Why isn't he begging for me back? Did he move on? Did I misjudge him? Did I lose something valuable? This is why silence is your greatest weapon. You don't fight for her. You don't explain yourself. You don't play into her hands. You disappear. And in that disappearance, she will crumble. The moment you stop reacting, you stop bleeding. And the moment you stop bleeding, you start healing. You shift from the one who was abandoned to the one who walked away. And by the time she realizes her mistake, you'll be long gone. If you're done bleeding for someone who wouldn't do the same for you, if you're ready to reclaim your power, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I control my silence, and my silence controls them. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Emotion versus logic. Pain makes you weak when you let it control you. Right now, you feel everything. Anger, sadness, confusion. You replay every moment, every conversation, every little thing she said that made you believe she'd never leave. And now, she's gone. She didn't think twice. She moved on like you never existed. And that stings. But here's where most men lose. They let their emotions dictate their actions. They lash out, they beg, they try to prove their worth. But a stoic man, a man who understands power, he does the opposite. He lets logic lead. Emotion will tell you to text her. Logic will tell you she made a choice. Emotion will make you stalk her social media. Logic will tell you it doesn't change the outcome. Emotion will scream, fight for her. Logic will remind you that fighting for someone who doesn't want you is weakness. The moment you detach from emotion, you become dangerous. Because now she no longer has access to your mind. She expected a reaction. She expected you to break. But when you go silent, when you become ice cold, it terrifies her. Because now she doesn't know what's going on in your head. And uncertainty breeds obsession. Understand this. She made a decision based on how she felt in the moment. That's how most people operate. But a man who can control his emotions, he wins in the long game. Because while she's jumping from emotion to emotion, craving instant validation, you are building yourself into something greater. She wanted you to act weak. She wanted to confirm that she made the right choice. But when you give her nothing, when you operate purely from logic, that's when she starts to doubt everything. If you're done making decisions from a place of weakness, if you're ready to take back control, comment below. I master my emotions. They do not master me. Number 2. The art of disappearance. Power doesn't come from chasing. It comes from being unavailable. When you pull away completely, when you vanish from her world, you force her to face a reality she never considered. You are no longer an option. Most men make the mistake of keeping the door open. They leave breadcrumbs, a like on her post, a happy birthday text, a weak excuse to check in. But every time you do that, you're reminding her, I'm still here, waiting. A man who understands power, He disappears. No texts, no social media breadcrumbs, no desperate attempts to prove his worth. He doesn't wait for her to come back. He moves like she never existed, and that's what breaks her. See, when you're always available, there's no fear of loss. She doesn't have to wonder where you are, who you're with, or if you even care. But when you disappear, when she looks for you and finds nothing, that's when her mind starts playing tricks on her. Did he move on? Did he replace me? Why hasn't he reached out? That silence becomes a storm inside her head. And the longer you stay gone, the more powerful you become. Because now, she's the one left wondering. You are no longer an open book. You are a mystery. And mystery creates desire. She has to fill in the blanks, and those blanks will always work against her. She'll remember the best moments, not the worst. She'll start convincing herself she made a mistake. But here's the truth. You don't do this to get her back. You do this to reclaim your power. And in that process, you will become the man she regrets losing. If you're done being an option, if you're ready to become the one that got away, comment below, "My absence is my power." Number 3, reclaiming your mind. Your mind is your fortress, but right now it's under siege by memories, emotions, and a woman who no longer deserves space in your head. Every time you replay the past, every time you wonder what she's doing, every time you check her social media, you are letting her live rent-free in your mind. That ends now. A weak man drowns in his thoughts. A strong man redirects them. Instead of obsessing over her, you focus on yourself. Instead of seeking closure, you build discipline. Instead of wasting energy on someone who left, you invest that energy into becoming someone she'll never have access to again. This is where most men fail. They go no contact, but mentally, they're still enslaved. They act like they're moving on, but deep down, they're waiting. You're not waiting. You're evolving. Focus on your mind. Read, train, master a skill, improve your body, strengthen your discipline. The more you level up, the less she matters. And here's the irony. The moment you genuinely stop caring is the moment she starts noticing. Why? Because energy doesn't lie. Women can feel it when a man is emotionally lingering, but when you truly reclaim your mind, when you stop thinking about her entirely, that's when she starts wondering why. Why isn't he broken? Why is he doing better without me? Did I make a mistake? She expected to be the center of your thoughts. She expected to haunt you. But when you prove to yourself and to her that she holds no power over you, you win. If you're done living in the past, if you're ready to reclaim your mind, comment below, "She is gone, but I remain." Number 4, the psychological spiral. Here's the truth. Silence creates chaos. Not in your mind, but in hers. She made a decision, and at first she was confident about it. She thought she had you figured out. She thought you'd chase, that you'd stay stuck, that you'd break without her. But now she's confused. At first, she doesn't notice your silence. She expects you to reach out. When you don't, she assumes you're just giving her space. But then weeks pass. No calls, no texts, no desperate attempt to pull her back. Now doubt starts creeping in. Why isn't he reaching out? Did he move on already? Was I wrong about him? Her confidence starts cracking. She went from being certain about leaving you to questioning if she made a mistake. And the worst part, she has no answers. Silence forces her to sit in the unknown, and people fear the unknown more than anything. She wants to know what you're thinking. She wants to know if you're still hurting. She wants to know if you're waiting for her. But the longer you stay silent, the more that uncertainty eats at her. That's when the psychological spiral begins. She starts checking your social media, looking for clues. She starts thinking about the good times instead of the bad. She starts over-analyzing, was he actually better than I gave him credit for? And then she starts missing you. But here's the trick. By the time she realizes it, it's already too late. Because you're not waiting. You're not playing a game. You're genuinely moving forward. And that's what makes her regret everything. If you're done being predictable, if you're ready to let silence work in your favor, comment below. She questions me because she lost me. Number 5. The shift in power. She walked away believing she had the upper hand. She thought she controlled the situation, that you'd sit there waiting, hoping she'd come back. But now the power dynamic is shifting. At first, she was certain that she could do better, that you were replaceable, that leaving you was the right choice. But time does something cruel to certainty. It erodes it. The moment you stopped chasing, you flipped the script. The moment you went silent, you became the one she started to think about. And here's what she never considered. When a man truly lets go, there is no coming back. This is where she starts to feel it. She's scrolling through old messages. She's remembering the way you made her feel. She's realizing that the men she thought would replace you don't compare. And worst of all, she has no access to you anymore. Before, she could reach out and she knew you'd be there. But now she's unsure. And that uncertainty, it's power. Because people don't value what's easily available. They value what's scarce. And now, you are scarce. She thought she had time. She thought she could move on at her own pace. And if things didn't work out, you'd still be an option. But now, for the first time, she feels what you felt. Loss. And here's where the real shift happens. You're not interested anymore. You don't care if she regrets it. You don't care if she reaches out. Because by the time she realizes what she had, you've already become someone better. If you're done giving away your power, if you're ready to let her feel the loss, comment below, I was the prize all along. Number 6. The illusion of control. She thought she had control. She thought she could walk away, do whatever she wanted, and still have the option to return if she felt like it. She believed she could dictate the pace, her pace. But now she's realizing she miscalculated. You see, most men fall into a trap. They let women believe they'll always be there, always waiting, always an option. But a man who understands power, he removes himself completely. He doesn't wait. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't give her the satisfaction of knowing she still has him wrapped around her finger. And that terrifies her. Because the moment she realizes she no longer controls your emotions, she starts losing control of hers. This is what most people don't understand. Control is an illusion. The person who cares the least always has the power. And right now, you are proving that you no longer care. Her texts aren't being answered. Her indirect attempts to get your attention are being ignored. She posts a picture hoping you'll react. You don't. She checks to see if you've viewed her story. You haven't. She expects you to reach out first. You never do. Now she's stuck in her own game. A game she thought she was playing against you, but in reality, she was only playing herself. Because now, for the first time, she feels powerless. If you're done letting her think she controls the situation, if you're ready to make her feel the loss, comment below. She lost control the moment I stopped caring. Number 7. Attraction through absence. The less she sees you, the more she wants to. That's how human nature works. We crave what we can't have. And right now, you are the scarcity. Think about it. When something is always available, it loses value. But when something is rare, when it's hard to access, it becomes desirable. That's why she was confident when she left. She believed you'd always be there. But now you're nowhere to be found. And that's when the regret starts creeping in. At first, she was fine. She enjoyed the freedom, the attention, the feeling of being wanted by others. But then, the high faded. The compliments became repetitive. The new guys didn't have the depth, the connection, the energy you had. And worst of all, you weren't there to feed her ego anymore. Now she's checking to see if you've moved on. Now she's reminiscing about the way you looked at her, the way you spoke, the way you made her feel. Because absence doesn't just create distance, it creates value. And here's the irony. You're not doing this for her. You're not going silent to play a game. You're doing this because you're genuinely building a life where she no longer matters. And that is what draws her back. Because nothing is more attractive than a man who is unbothered. Nothing is more powerful than a man who is too focused on himself to care about who left. She thought she could replace you easily. Now, she's realizing the truth. You were one of a kind. If you're done proving your worth, if you're ready to let your absence speak louder than words, comment below. My silence makes me unforgettable. Number 8. Indifference is king. She expected you to be angry. She expected you to fight for her, to show her how much she meant to you, to prove that you couldn't live without her. But instead, you gave her nothing. And nothing is the most powerful response. Because indifference kills the ego. It tells her, without saying a word, that she is no longer important, that she has no effect on you, that she could walk away, disappear, or even beg for your attention, and none of it would matter, because you have moved on. Here's what most men don't understand. The opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. Hate still means you care. It still means she has power over you. But indifference tells her she is irrelevant. At first, she might not accept it. She'll test you. She'll send a casual message. She'll post something meant to get your attention. She'll find little ways to remind you she exists. But when she gets nothing in return, that's when reality hits her. Now she's asking herself, did I ever matter to him? Now she's realizing, maybe he was the one in control all along. Now she's feeling exactly what she wanted you to feel, powerless. And here's the part that really gets to her. You didn't do this to hurt her. You didn't do this to get a reaction. You did this because you stopped caring. And once a man truly stops caring, there's no coming back from that. If you're done being affected, if you're ready to let indifference set you free, comment below. Her absence means nothing to me. Number 9. You were the prize all along. She thought she was the prize. She thought you were lucky to have her. She thought she could leave, explore her options, and if nothing worked out, you'd still be waiting. But now she's realizing the truth. You were the prize. Because while she was out seeking validation, you were building yourself. While she was looking for something better, you were becoming better. While she was playing games, you were mastering yourself. And now she sees it. She sees the man she walked away from wasn't the man she thought he was. He was stronger, more disciplined, more valuable. And the most painful part, he no longer wants her. This is the moment she regrets everything. Because now she can't have what she once had. She can't reach out and expect the same man to be waiting. That man no longer exists. And that's when it hits her. She lost something rare. Because men who evolve after heartbreak, they become untouchable. They become the men that women chase, the men that women talk about, the men that women wish they had chosen differently. And you are that man now. She thought she was upgrading, but in reality, she downgraded herself out of your life. If you're done seeing her as the prize, if you're ready to embrace the truth, comment below. I was the prize all along. Number 10. The final goodbye. There was a time when you would have done anything to get her back. A time when you would have begged, pleaded, and compromised your self-respect just to keep her in your life. But now you see things for what they really are. She was never the one who got away. You were. Because the man she left behind is gone. The weak, emotional version of you. He doesn't exist anymore. The man who needed her validation, buried. The man who would have waited for her to come back, replaced by someone who no longer cares. And that's the part she never saw coming. She thought she could leave and still have access to you. She thought you would always be an option. But now she has to live with the reality that she made a choice. And that choice was permanent. This is the final goodbye. Not in words, not in messages, not in some dramatic confrontation. Your silence is the goodbye. The way you live, the way you move forward, the way you thrive without her. That is the loudest message of all. Because the real power is in walking away without looking back. If you're done with the past, if you're ready for the future, comment below. I never lose, I only evolve. You came here searching for answers, searching for a way to make her regret, to make her feel what you felt, to take back the power she stole from you. But now, you understand the truth. The power was never hers to take. It was yours all along. She thought she broke you. She thought she could walk away, leave you questioning yourself, and still have control over your emotions. But what she didn't expect was for you to become untouchable. No more chasing, no more waiting, no more playing into a game that was designed to keep you weak. You've reclaimed your mind, you've reclaimed your focus, and most importantly, you've reclaimed yourself. Because the man she left behind is gone, and what stands in his place is someone stronger, someone wiser, someone she can never manipulate again. That is your power, that is your revenge. She lost you, and that's a loss she will have to live with for the rest of her life. If you're done letting the past control you, if you're ready to step into your power, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence speaks louder than her words. This is Stoic Blessing. Thank you for watching.